the Comic Book Roundtable. There's nothing like doing that live. There's nothing like doing that live to get you all psyched up and ready to talk comics. Good evening, everybody. I hope you all have had a wonderful Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Yeah, because we are here to talk comic books. Welcome, big welcome to the one and only, the clobber of clobbers, Clobber in Time. What is going on, my friend? How are you doing?
Hey, buddy, doing well. Great to see you. Good to see you. My good friend Loki, buddy. Miss doing this. It's always fun. Great buddy 24 and old buddy Classic Comics. It's good to be here with you and look at the fantastic friends in the chat. Hello, everybody. Hope you all had a fantastic Christmas.
Absolutely. I hope you guys have had a great Christmas. We're walking into a brand new year next Wednesday, guys. It's going to be a brand new year. Let me welcome the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who blows that shit up 24/7 Fusion Media. What is up, brother? How are you doing?
Oh, man, I'm good, man. Just glad to be here with y'all and, happy to be around all these great people here in the chat, man. So just decided to get it started, man. Mr. Comic Book Roundtable, man.
Absolutely. And let me welcome someone who has been absolutely awesome these past couple of months. He's been rocking and rolling with us when we do the roundtable. Classic Comics. What is up, brother? How are you doing?
Yeah.
Doing well, man. Thanks for that intro. And thanks to the chat for showing up. I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and has a Happy New Year.
Absolutely. How, dude, I know we talked about this before, but you got to remind me how many. I know you've got something big coming up that you're going to be doing. How many more roundtables are you going to be here with us? Is this it? Or
I think maybe 2 or 3, because I'm starting a master's program on January 17th.
Well, congratulations, brother.
Thank you. And yeah, I'll have a class on, I think it's like 4 to 6:30 on Wednesdays, so probably not going to be realistic to keep going. I might be able to drop in on occasion or something.
Well, you're always welcome, brother. I can't wait for the last couple of shows. You're absolutely brilliant. You love to talk comics. You know your shit. And thank you so much for being a part of the roundtable, my friend.
Well, thank you for having me, man. It's been fun.
And let me welcome some of those great people out in chat. The first people that popped in here, Keely Chow, Roll Tide, my friend. Roll Tide. Good evening. Gwagnar. Hello, Gwagnar. It's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here, brother. Chris Persia, the wrench of wrenches, the great wrench of the North.
Yeah.
Maddie's daddy. What is up, Maddie's daddy? How are you doing?
Buddy.
Good evening. Good evening. I know you are a classic clobber. I almost didn't get that out right. Classic clobber. Thank you so much for being here. Maddie's daddy. June Wong.
Of 40 years.
Yeah. Absolutely. June Wong, how are you doing, brother? Good to see you. Andrew, 46 and 2's in chat. Good evening, Andrew, 46 and 2. Ted's Nerd World. What is up, Ted? How are you doing, brother? How are you doing? It is good to see you. Good to see everybody. Claude Sailing. What is up, Claude Sailing? Good evening, my friend. Happy Wednesday. Psychodorf 9, of course, is here. Absolutely wonderful guy, Psychodorf 9. Good to see you, brother. Isaj Melody, what is up, Isaj Melody? Mr. Butt Crack Media is here. He says, hail Valhalla, hail Loki, hail to you, Mr. Butt Crack Media. So I had an idea, gentlemen. I figured, you know what? We have talked the last couple of times we've been on here. We have talked about DC. We've talked about the shenanigans that have going on. Let's talk about something fun, guys. Let's talk about something we love. And that is art. And there's some beautiful comic book art out there. Some things that transcend just being a comic book. And I don't want to just do us. I want you guys in chat to let us know who your favorites are, who you really love. And we're going to start off with Classic Comics and go around the room. I'll go last, but we'll start off with Classic Comics. Is there anyone that you're just like, man, the world would not be right if this person was not doing comic books?
Probably George Perez. He was really my favorite
Oh,
when I was growing up.
oh yeah, man.
I actually started reading the Avengers right around the time he started on the book, and just kind of took to his art really right away, because what he was doing was just so just seems so much more advanced than what you saw in most other comics at the time. And John Burns, another one, of course, his work on the X-Men hooked me. For all the, he hasn't done a whole lot of work, but Michael Golden's a big one I really like. And Neil Adams, of course, too.
Oh
There's
yeah,
been
I was about to mention him. Yeah.
more recently, Ivan Reis over DC. I think he's just been like the best artist in comics for probably basically in this century so far. He's just been incredible.
All right. Any of their work you would like to point out, or anything that really caught your eye or made you fall in love with these guys? Anything like that at all?
Well, Perez, what really hooked me on Perez was there was a two-part story. I think it was Avengers 160, 161. Club, you probably know. It was like the one where they introduced Joe Cassidy, or the Bride of Ultron story.
Oh yeah, I love it.
Yeah,
Love
that was the story that really hooked me on Perez's art.
Yeah,
But
right.
his work on Titans, because I was entering my teens just as that book was starting, so I adored that book. And of course, his JLA Avengers, that's kind of like his crowning achievement. So any of that stuff is great to check out. For Byrne, personally, his X-Men work is my favorite stuff. I don't think he's at his best when he's inking his own stuff, really.
Boy, is that for sure.
Yeah. And then for Ivan Reis, his Aquaman. I know Klobby's not a fan of New 52, and I wasn't either overall, but that Aquaman series that he and Jeff Johns did was just fantastic.
Yeah,
Or
actually, yeah, there's about a handful of titles from the New 52 that were worth a read. Everything else was trash, but I agree with you. There's about a handful of titles that were worth it, and Aquaman was one of them.
Yeah, and he actually moved over to Justice League for a little while too. So any of that.
Yeah, it was Aquaman, Justice League, Green Lantern. Oh shit. Boy, didn't they have some good books, man.
He did Green Lantern years before the Screw 52. He did a lot of some Green Lantern stuff. No, he was good.
Yeah, well, that was Jeff Johns and Ethan Van Sciver.
But then he came along later and did some Green Lantern. I think he do a lot of stuff after Van Sciver left, and then also Green Lantern Corps.
Yeah, he came in a little later and did some great stuff too.
Yeah.
24. What about you, brother?
Oh man, Perez, Neil Adams, Dan Jurgens, Jim Aparo.
Nice.
Shit, man. Yeah, because like George Perez, of course, I was introduced to him. Well, right, Teen Titans #1. With Robin, as I'm talking about, like when Wolfman and Perez, man, boy, the Teen Titans, man, like matter of fact, I got that issue. I got #1 autographed by Perez.
Oh,
and
wow.
then
Cool.
Nice.
I can pop that motherfucker out right now. And then I also got when that series was done and they rebooted the series, it's not, I ain't gonna say reboot, I hate that word. When the series was done and they brought it back out, and of course by that time Nightwing is on the cover, and it's actually the same cover as the series before, but it just has Nightwing. You know that. Y'all familiar with that cover? Teen Titans #1 with Nightwing on the cover.
Mm-hmm. You talking about the Baxter book, which was the second volume 2. Yeah.
Right. Now I have that one autographed by Perez too.
Oh, you showed that I think one night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So I have both number ones autographed by
Yeah.
Perez, and I mean he was
Nice.
just,
Yeah, that is.
man. I mean
cool.
the thing is to be
Incredible.
around at that time and to see the Titans like being a powerhouse the way they were during the early 80s. Dog, it was nothing like it, man. I mean, it was a hell of a teen book, man. Teen superheroes and I mean the addition to like Cyborg and Raven and Starfire, and of course you had Beast Boy, and that's why I hate Beast Boy, man. I'm used to calling him Changeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I mean, and I'm familiar with his first Teen Titans outfit, man, and it hasn't been nothing like that since, man. That was amazing, man. That was an amazing comic. But as far as artists, Jerry Ordway. Whew.
mhm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
man.
brother. That yes.
Yeah, Jerry was great.
Dude, I have I have I have a Jerry Ordway autographed Young Justice comic.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
You know,
And then I also have an Ordway autographed no, I take that back. I have a Chuck Dixon autographed Young Justice comic because they came out with, like, if I'm not mistaken, it was either 52 or 100-page comics. This was back in the late 90s, early 2000s, and they started coming out with those. I think it's either 52 pages or 100, and they came out with at least 2 or 3 issues. They had a Power Shazam one, which I have autographed by Jerry Ordway. So this
was 1994. Yeah, that was
Nice.
1994.
Right. So it's like I have they had like a 100-page special. They had like 2 or 3 of them, and they had one for Young Justice, which Chuck Dixon, I have his autograph for one of those, and then the one for the Power Shazam, it only had like 2 or 3 issues that were like, it was like I think it was 100 pages if I'm not mistaken, and I have that autographed by Jerry Ordway. So I mean, Jerry Ordway, my God, his run of the Power Shazam for like the mid 90s, to me, that was the best way to bring, like, if they would have, DC Films, whatever you want to call them, Warner Brothers, if they would have done anything right, they should have adapted Jerry Ordway's version of Captain Marvel. That way it paid homage to what it was, and they updated it to the point where he wasn't corny anymore. Like, he was actually respectable and, a very likable character where, it's like he stopped, saying, call himself the Big Red Cheese or saying holy moly. They cut that down quite a bit, but it was like it was more mature, and it was good.
I didn't
and
like
it
that
didn't
change.
take away from
I hated it.
from what CC Beck created.
I hated them making him more, acting more like a kid later instead of more like. Anyway, that's another argument.
Zombie Box Reviews is sending a 50-pound super chat. Thank you so much, ZBR, brother. He says, "Hail Loki, hail panel and chat. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Wishing you all a festive skull. Hell yes. Joyous Yuletide."
Yeah,
Zombie Box
skull.
Review. Thank you
Yeah.
so very
Yeah, buddy.
much for that $50 super chat, brother. You guys keep the fires of Valhalla burning bright. And since we're talking about favorite artists, I got to do this. Skull!
Spartans! What is your profession?
Dude, I know I've got so the death of Superman, the funeral for a friend, and then in when they came back, when they had the 4 new Supermen,
Right.
every single issue, Jerry Ordway, and I'll show you this next time you're at the house, bro. This is like in my collection, every single issue he had anything to do with is signed by Jerry Ordway. I was like, I went absolutely nuts when I got those, man.
Man,
Because I was like, I
boy,
love pencils, I love penciling, I love inking, I love line art. When I get a hold of some line art, I'm like a kid in a candy store. If I can get a black and white issue of something, I'm like, holy shit, yes, because I love it. So yeah, dude, Jerry Ordway, man.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
Yes,
hey,
indeed.
let me ask y'all something. Who do you think would win when you look at both sides?
Oh shit.
What is this from? I mean, I always like to pick the heroes, but I can't stand Connor Kent, and I can't stand that art at all. Who did that?
I don't even know. I know.
It's modern.
Yeah, it's
Dark
a new.
Crisis Warzone.
Yeah, this is Dark Crisis Warzone #1.
Dark Crisis.
I think
So you
whoever
got-
bought it loses.
Yeah, you got
Oh
Doomsday
shit.
and Darkseid and what's that, Neuron on one side.
Yeah.
Aaron, yeah.
Dude, yeah, man. Yeah, man. This is, and then what's crazy is you see Batman, look at Batman real good. What's different about him?
Why is his cowl like that? Look at his face.
You know why?
I don't know.
That's the Black Batman, dude.
Oh, that's okay, Fox or whatever.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
the guy that does the
Oh.
Batmobile. That's his son.
I thought that was that
Oh,
like
no,
where
okay.
there's zombies or whatever. I thought maybe for a minute that was zombie Batman or whatever the hell
They
they
all look
did.
like zombies on there.
Nah, but
I thought it
if
was
you look at
Jennifer
him,
Lawrence
you can tell it's a
Batman.
black dude.
Wow. Yeah, Jennifer Lawrence for a minute. It could have been. She was the
Yeah.
first one in comics, they're always trying to make characters look
then-
like her.
If
And
you're
then what's
trying to make old
crazy is-
comic book art look better, you're sure making a good case.
And then at the top, right where Supergirl is, you see Yara Flores, which is the new Wonder Woman, along with the guy that's supposed to be replacing Aquaman.
What?
Yeah.
So basically, you got all the new.
yeah.
No. Why is Black Adam on their side?
Because look, ever since the thing is, for marketing purposes, they threw like once the Rock started doing the movie and that started being publicized, then all of a sudden they put Captain Marvel, Black Adam, they put him a part of the Justice League.
Nope.
Yeah, they're really
Nope.
pushing him as an anti-hero or something.
No.
Right, exactly. And that's
He's
bullshit,
a villain.
man.
He's always been a villain. No.
Dude.
No. You know what? No. Mm-mm.
That's a good wasted cover.
What the fuck?
Isn't he doesn't he bat for the home team now?
Yeah, I don't think so, man.
Yeah.
I'm not
Oh
sure.
no,
Yeah.
they did it. They did it to him. Even in that, I actually was dumb enough to buy the 80th anniversary Green Lantern special a couple years back, and they had a story in there where Alan Scott, and it took place in the Golden Age. Well, let's just say, yeah, they pretty much
Yeah.
say it, which is garbage, and I don't acknowledge it's not my Alan Scott.
He likes to polish bats now. Yeah.
Yeah, he likes to polish
Is that-
knobs.
In that new Justice Society series, he doesn't come right out and say it, but he makes some comments that make it pretty
Yeah,
clear.
this is
Yeah.
this is issue #1. So the premise of this is that the Justice Society is missing. This is written by Jeff Johns. So the Justice Society is missing on issue #1, and the Huntress puts together a team of like Solomon Grundy, and I don't know how the fuck it's so. She puts together a team of, I guess, new
Villains,
Justice Society members, which is like her, just the Solomon Grundy, and a bunch of other people, and some of most of them villains, and they go looking
Yeah.
for the Justice Society. And like I said, this is written by Jeff Johns, so it comes off pretty cool. It's not woke or no bullshit. I mean, the Huntress is not trying to be Batman or no shit. But the thing is, with her having somewhat of some detective skills, it was probably best matched that she be the one to figure out what happened to the JSA and try to find them. So that's how they start off this comic. So it's a mystery on seeing what happened to the JSA, but the team that they put together to go find them, like her and Solomon Grundy and a bunch of other, different offbeat villains and shit. It's like, wow. So it's interesting. It's kind of like a Suicide Squad kind of deal, man. Yeah, and they're looking for Jay Garrick and everybody else, trying to see what the hell happened to the original members of the JSA. So this all happens after Dark Crisis, Infinite Dark Crisis, or whatever, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths. I think that's what it's called.
Yeah, Dr.
So,
Fate has.
Go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
No.
I was just going to say, in that JSA, Dr. Fate has some kind of vision about the JSA dying or something like that, doesn't he? I'm trying to remember. I read the issue, but it's been a couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's it's a trip, man. This is the variant cover right here. I could have gotten the other one. I was like, fuck that. If I'm gonna get anything, it's gonna be with Alan Scott.
So is there any other art, anything you want to bring up before we move on to Klopp?
Actually the artist for like All-Star Squadron was pretty good.
Rich Buckler used to start drawing it.
Michael Janin or Michael Janin or however you say his name.
Rich Buckler used to draw it at first, and then Ordway and some others. Who are you thinking of?
Yeah. I remember Ordway. I think he came a little later. But yeah, man. I mean,
like Macklin and a couple other people.
Man, I mean, like the art for Crisis on Infinite Earths was like, wow, man. Especially that one cover that they usually show now
Perez.
of
That's Perez
both Supermans, one holding the Earth 2 Wonder Woman, the other one holding Supergirl.
Yeah,
man, that's Alex Ross.
Oh yeah. I should have mentioned Alex Ross.
Alex Ross, man, like, dude, his art, man, like, shit looks so realistic, man. Like, for what it is, man, it's beautiful, man. I have his autograph too for doing G-Force Battle of the Planets.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he fucking drew that shit. I have like a lithogram with his autograph on there, man. It's fucking awesome, man.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, man.
He probably, I think he did he do that for Dynamite Comics? Wasn't there a series?
He just did some covers or something.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been
I don't know if
Image.
it was Dynamite, but
Image. Okay.
Right. But it was some other company. Yeah, it was either. I think it might have been Image, man. But because they, but yeah, man, it's beautiful, man. Like his artwork. Like, for instance, I have you remember when him and, if I'm not mistaken, I think it might have been Mark Waid, they put out that 4 big comic books. One was Batman, one was Superman, one was Wonder Woman.
Him and Paul Dini. It was called
Paul Dini, right.
I reviewed the first one the other night, Superman Peace on Earth, Batman
Peace on
War
Earth,
on
right.
Crime, Shazam, The Power of Hope, Wonder Woman, the Something of Love or whatever, yeah. And then there was JLA Secret Origins, so they actually did 5.
Oh man. Yeah, I got Wonder Woman's and I have Captain Marvel's. Shazam's, yeah.
Love them.
Those are beautiful, man.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And Paul Dini, he's the one that does Batman, right? Batman, the animated
he worked
series.
on Batman animated series, amongst other things. Yeah, he's done a lot of comics and stuff. Good writer.
Yeah,
That's
I've got that
interesting.
Batman one.
War on Crime. Cool stuff.
What is 24 is digging around trying to find something.
He's always doing it,
He's always digging around. Oh, Klobby. Okay. Klobby, dude, even though I already know the answer to this, at least I think I know. You might surprise
Well, we
me.
could just you know number one. So
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Do you want to? Can I guess? Can I guess what number 1 is? I think I know. I'm pretty sure I know. I'm 99% sure.
I'm sure that everyone can guess it. So it's not like a big deal.
Jack Kirby.
Well, Jack,
Ladies
King
and
of
gentlemen.
Comics is. Remember, I always differentiate myself from favorite and greatest. I just spent year and a half tearing apart the Tripwire list when they made the audacious claim, the 101 greatest comic artists of all time. And I spent a lot. And then they finally finished at number 1, and they at least got that right. They got Kirby.
Kirby
Then,
in there, yes.
But they have a lot of mistakes on that list, placement wise. Omissions are unbelievably glaring. And so I've had a lot of fun week to week when they've come out with a new entry, messing with it. And then this past Monday, I tore the whole list. Hungry Boy and I tore the whole list to pieces and had a lot of fun doing that. But the great Mark C. and I, as you know, our dear departed friend Mark C. and I, we did a show a couple of years back where we counted down our top 25 favorites, and that's the distinction. There's some, and we had a lot of fun doing it. And so if you don't count Kirby, because again, it's low hanging fruit that Jack Kirby, even if he wasn't my favorite, I would call him the greatest, but he just happens to be my favorite in every single way. But I have some other ones. For example, my top 10 would be, Kurt Swan at 10, John Byrne at 9, believe it or not. John Romita Jr., just kidding, senior, at 8. Jim Steranko at 7. Jim Aparo at 6. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez at 5. Neil Adams at 3. George Perez at 1. Gil Kane at 2. And Jack Kirby at 1. Gil Kane is so criminally low on that list that it's disgusting. He's one of the all-time greats. I love Gil Kane's work. I love Neil Adams, but when you can make a case that he didn't do a lot past like 1982 or something like that. Most of the stuff he did after that wasn't quite up to snuff, but still, it's some of the most extraordinary comic book art of all time, especially covers and even ads. But I love a lot of other artists too that should get mentions, like Jim Starlin, Barry Windsor Smith, Dave Cockrum, Wally Wood, Steve Ditko, Joe Kubert, Will Eisner, Marsha Rogers. I'm just throwing names all over the place from various parts of my top 25. There's so many fantastic artists there. And as far as today, there's not one of them working today. And in fact, when I look at my list, almost none of them are even still with us anymore. So I love George Perez. These idiots had him at number 46 on their list, which is ridiculous.
What?
That's crazy. He should at least be in the top 10 at the very least.
He's a top 10.
Okay, he's in my top 5. But I mean, he should at least be in the top 10.
Absolutely. He's my number 3. But and again, I would at least wouldn't be have said much if he'd been in the top 20, but he belongs in the top 10. But I'm just saying, if you want a top 20, I go, at least that's fairly respectful. But they had my number 2, and not just saying because it's personal. Gil Kane belongs in any real top 10, palpable top 10 list, but to have him at 56 was disgusting. They had Adams at 3. They got number 2, so really wrong. It's crazy. But they've had, some other guys, some of these extraordinary artists on this list buried. In fact, and they had omissions. Like, for example, you guys are talking about Jerry Ordway. I mean, I don't know if he would make my top 50 or anything, but when you leave some of the people out, with some of the people they put on this list, and you don't have a guy like Ordway, they don't have Kurt Swan on the list at all. They have Jim Aparo at like 99, which is ridiculous.
I think, Clobby, I think part of it is, like, I mean, Ordway was influential to me because of Superman. So that's why, I mean, he does beautiful work, but that's why he's in my top 5, man. Is because so it's pick your poison. Who do you love? Who do you think's great? Yeah.
But they weren't picking a favorites list. And if you see some of the schlubs on this list, make me go, wow, this guy's on there, but a guy like Swan. Hey, Joe Shuster's not on there, for God's sake. What? The co-creator of Superman. Whereas they've got guys on there, I won't go all through it again, but some of the people on there make me go, wait a minute. This guy's on there, but this other guy isn't, who's way more deserving. Okay. And the placement's really terrible, the thing. But anyway, comic book art is highly subjective. There's no question about that in terms of who our favorites are. Kirby is by leaps and bounds my favorite, but, there's Gil Kane. Again, just love his stuff. You guys mentioned great artists like Alex Ross. It's not technically almost not comic book art, but it's still just great to look at. So I have him high on my list. Jim Starlin, extraordinary. Like I said, Marshall Rogers, Al Williamson, man, Walt Simonson, John Buscema, Nick Carty. Just too many names. I mean, just there's so many conversations that can be had. But the thing is, I don't know that you have anyone out there today, just to finish my point, working on comics that anyone's going to say in about 20, 30 years going, hey, man, that guy belongs up there with the greats. Don't think so. That means it doesn't sound good for the art form. But
What about independence? What about independence?
How do you mean independent artists?
Well, like Ethan Van Sciver and people that have basically been like, you know what,
in the industry. Yeah,
and that's true. I'm talking about now though, because I mean, a lot of these guys that are still alive aren't working now, and they're not working now, not by choice, but because basically they're like almost like pariahs by this new generation, and you've got really great guys like oh, what's his name? My God, why can't I think of his name? Not Kirby, the other one. Oh my God, he did Punisher.
Oh, you talking about Mike Barron?
Mike
no,
Barron,
not
Chuck
no,
Dixon,
no, no, Chuck Dixon.
He's not an artist,
like
he's
Chuck
not an
Dixon.
artist, but yeah, he's a writer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just using them as an example of like people that aren't working for the comic book industry, but they're still working.
Yeah. And Ordway, you don't see him doing much anymore, though. And Jurgens does a little bit here and there, but most of the guys who are actually still with us aren't even in the who worked in other eras. Not too many of them are getting any work today.
Yeah, Walt Simonson's another one we should have mentioned.
I did actually.
Oh, did you? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I have like 42 of my favorites list.
Right there.
Yeah.
Birds of Prey
was really great.
So I'm going to throw out a
lot of stuff's being done on computers these days. But go ahead.
I'm going to throw out a couple of people before I get to mine, because I'm sure you can guess who I'm going to go to and my top list. But Kurt Swan is one of them. Kirby, Steve Ditko, especially Steve Ditko. God dang, man. George Perez, Jerry Ordway. These are guys that were absolutely influential before I started reading comics. After I stopped in the late 90s, because I did stop for a while. I stopped for like 10 years. I didn't collect comics. I didn't keep getting comics. It was pretty much around the time that they New 52'd everything around the turn of the century that I was just like, And I kept up with a couple of things here and there. I heard that the Ultimates was great, but Klobby was like, no, Ultimates suck, man.
No, most people don't listen to me. Most people like that stuff. I just can't get into it.
I hated New 52. I absolutely hated the New 52. I didn't want anything to do with the New 52. I hated the way Batman looked. I hated the way they changed things, and I was just like, you know what? That's just not my thing anymore. I'm not banging on people that do like that shit, but to me, it's shit. But my biggest one, the guy who really made me go, man, this isn't just a comic book. This is something else. Was Miller. Frank Miller had such an influence. Look at what he did. Daredevil, Born Again, Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, and that's not even my favorite. The stuff that Frank Miller did. My two favorite pieces of media that he did was Sin City and 300.
Hey, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's about to continue the stories of Sin City.
That's what I've been hearing.
Yeah. With the new company that he's starting up with, whatever fuck his name is.
Dan Didio.
Dan Didio, yeah.
And when I saw Sin City in black and white, I'm not talking about the movie. This is before the movie. I was completely blown away. I know everybody immediately goes to Dark Knight Returns. That's everybody's big. Oh my God, Frank Miller. I didn't read Dark Knight Returns till after I saw Sin City for the first time, not the movie, but the book. It wasn't until then that I was like, what is this? What has this guy done? And I was amazed to find out that he did the Dark Knight Returns. I immediately went out and got it and was like, I absolutely love this shit. But I always go back to Sin City. And when 300 came out, I was just like, shit, man, this is me. This is so me. I absolutely love this shit. And I don't think I've ever, I don't know, it's so hard for me to go, you know what? I love Ordway, but I always go back to Frank Miller and look at his stuff and just go, it's not just a comic book. It's not just a comic book. For a lot of people, that's how they see it. It's not just a comic book. It's something special. It's something that makes their imagination go absolutely nuts. And he was able to do that for me. He was absolutely able to do that for me. And it was a time when I was like struggling, trying to find more DC stuff to read because I wanted to read more. I wanted to read more stuff. And the Dark Horse books were great. And as soon as I got a hold of Sin City, and I was like, man, this is DC and Dark Horse. I just loved it. I loved it. So I just kept reading and kept collecting. And I'm pretty sure those were some of the last ones I bought because it went to, what did it go to, like 99?
What? Which one?
The Sin City books.
Well, I don't know. I never bought them.
Yeah,
I don't know. I never bought them.
Another artist is Joe Kubert, man.
Joe Kubert did that cover with Murphy Anderson.
Yeah, and he did this cover right here. This is 1968, man.
Love
12
it.
cents.
Love it. Good old Hawkman.
Yeah, Hawkman.
Phantom Outsider asked 24. How many books do you have in your collection?
Thousands.
3.
Yeah, and shit.
Quite a few.
How many lock boxes do you have? Or how many not long lock boxes? God, why did I say lock box? Long boxes. How many long
boxes? Fuck. 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, a lot.
11, 12, 13.
8.
About
400.
Maybe anywhere between 16 to 20.
Got about 12.
But see, that's his long boxes. Then I have a shitload of short boxes. Then I have boxes like these and all kind of sizes filled with comics. Like I have more comic books than I have long. They should all be in long boxes or short boxes, and I have them in the boxes that they came with. You know, like when they were shipped to me and all this other shit. And I just made sure not to fuck them up. But yeah, this is an original from the Adams first series.
So you don't ever count them. You don't ever go through and like 1, 2, 3.
Cool, Murphy.
It's been fuck, the last time I counted was like 4 years ago.
Take some time.
Yeah,
you don't have that. You don't have
them
all entered. You don't catalog your comics on a program like Mark D does.
Nah,
He's got them all on there.
24 lives in a warehouse to keep his eye on all of his collection.
Yep.
Right there. Chris Persian.
There you go.
Remember this?
We're supposed to tell all them. Love it.
This is classic as shit, man.
Oh, Phantom Outsiders throwing down. He says, I have 15 racks holding 18 short boxes on each rack. That's crazy, brother.
Wow.
That's absolutely crazy.
That's
and see, I think, okay, I've got an island in my kitchen. It's a pretty long island. And I've got long boxes stacked from the bottom of that island.
He sure
going
does.
through the length of that island. And I'm like, yeah, I got a good collection.
In your kitchen. Wow.
in my kitchen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's the easiest place to keep it, man.
Wow.
It's the
Yeah,
easiest
but
place.
I mean, but where he has it is secured. Like, would nothing happen to it where it's at?
Yeah,
unless
they're
somebody
all under
eventually-
like, they're all
Yeah.
under like the lip. So the lip goes out for a while. The lip goes
Oh.
out the length of side to side of the boxes. So they're right there. There's no way you can like hit them or kick them or whatever.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I have a Long Island in my kitchen.
Long
Spider-Man.
Island.
I got a Long Island in my
Loving
kitchen.
these covers.
That's
Yeah,
right.
man.
That's what she said. I'm loving these covers.
I got it. I caught on that one. Yeah. The
Oh,
world's
shit.
smallest superhero, 12 cents, issue number 33. Yeah, man. Fucking Adam. Boy, they used to do some cool shit with this with him, man.
Oh man.
Hey, when they
Being
replaced his
goodness.
ass.
Yeah, I love the Ray Palmer.
Fucking assholes.
Yes,
But, man,
sir.
look at this. It's beautiful, man. Like, these are the kind of comics you see like on the walls of comic book stores and shit. I'd be like,
Nice.
I'll be looking at these motherfuckers like I'll never own one of these. Now I got a whole box full of these motherfuckers.
Hey, that's the way it works.
Nah, what it
That's
was,
the way it works.
it's taking advantage of the pandemic was what I say that all the time, man. When they were doing, everybody's going out of business, man. I swooped in like a hawk, was catching shit left and right, man.
You know what I've noticed? I've noticed, especially this season, people are selling things a lot cheaper than they were selling them middle of the year, even a year ago. It's been really crazy. I
Yeah,
got
this is
some
issue number
really good
2 of
insane
Hawkman.
deals on comics, games, all kinds of shit this season. It's been nuts. Everything price on everything is going down. People need that money.
It is
Well, so
issue number
cheap.
2 of Hawkman,
Nice.
which I had issue number 1, but it's not bad having issue number 2.
Not bad at all. Nice.
Yeah, and you can even tell no cracks, no creases. This motherfucker's beautiful, man. Look at that shit, man.
Yeah.
Canadian
Just like I
Spider-Man
always
says,
say,
always good to
I
see
ain't
you
collecting
guys.
no beat up ass comic books. Fuck that.
Loki and Klobby, good evening. Good evening to you,
Hey, buddy.
Canadian Spider-Man. Oh, yeah.
Good to see you,
Canadian
bud.
Spider-Man kicks ass as a wrench over on DC's channel. He's all over
Mhm.
the place. He's everywhere. He's like Mike.
He does
Except
whatever,
he's not jumping out of married women's windows.
but he does whatever a Canadian Spider can, though.
That's right.
Showcase. Look, pure Hubert right there.
Yeah.
I love Adam Strange.
Oh yeah, I love Adam Strange, man. Shit, man. I got
Yeah. And what Tom King did with Adam Strange was
I've heard that.
criminal.
oh come on, man.
I've heard about that, but not much. Enough to make me sick, though.
It's probably worse than you've heard, man. It was
I
just
bet it is.
friggin' awful.
Mm.
Hawkman.
That's classic Hawk Girl.
I think we lost
Oh, man,
24.
right there. Oops.
I think we
Okay.
lost 24.
Oh.
Ruh-roh.
We've lost our two.
Psychodorp 9 says, gentlemen, my eye is hurting. I can't read the chat. Lurk mode activated. Kickback. Psychodorp
Yeah.
9. Brother, you earned it.
There you go. I had a long day.
We hit him with that mace.
Nice.
Yeah, I just never I understood why for the Golden Age Hawkman they had him using like medieval weapons, but as much as I like Hawkman, it just never made much sense to me that he's a Thanagarian, he's from another world, he's got access to all this alien technology, but he fights villains with basically just a club. With
He's
like
a
an
warrior.
Iron Age weapon.
He's like a Klingon. Likes to fight.
Yeah, one of the things I liked in Justice League was that they kind of, Hawk Girl, her mace was kind of souped up. It had special abilities to
Nth
it.
metal thingy. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I thought that was good. I think they should do that in the comics more. I thought he was like he could be kind of like the Predator, where he's got all these fancy weapons.
Oh yeah, dude. That'd be cool. I'd be down with that.
Just like,
like
must,
nth metal technology. Yeah.
must be your Hawkman box where you put like
Yep, you already know it.
you got a Hawkman box, huh? Cool. DC Comics presents with
Yeah, it look like
Hawkman versus
Superman's gonna get it.
it's got Ross Andrew cover. Cool.
I don't know. I always like the idea of a mace. Okay, so I want to bring something up while 24 is showing off comic books. I want to bring something up because there was an argument that I got into, and you know, I don't think what Klobby calls Man of Steel to be
Starlin.
like a great Superman flick.
Yeah, darling.
But there were aspects of it that I liked, and there was
Not even-
aspects of it I absolutely hated.
It's not even a Superman movie, so there you go.
But one of the things I absolutely positively hated in that movie was the what they did to Jonathan Kent. And
Yeah.
that was trash.
Of course.
and this got brought up the other day. Someone said something about you know, this because I think they were talking about Lois and Clark, the Adventures of Lois and Clark, and how good that series was, and how you know, they didn't need to tear Clark down. His dad didn't need to tear him down. They lifted him up. They made him the man he is today. And I am in the middle of watching Smallville with Eris because she's never seen Smallville. And I want to tell you something. Jonathan Kent in Smallville.
John Snyder.
John Snyder. Clark stopped a bus. He stopped a bus from killing an old man. And his dad's like, "Were you seen?" And he goes, No, Dad, no. And he's like, "You got to be more careful." And he's like, "What was I supposed to do? Let him die?" And he goes, "No, son, never. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you did, but you got to be careful." That's Jonathan Kent, ladies and gentlemen. That
He
is
was good in
Jonathan
that
Kent.
role. He was quite
Yeah,
good on
actually,
that.
I want to meet him one day, man. Like he owns a studio out in Louisiana.
I've met him. I've been out there, met him a few times, a couple times.
Man, I want to go, man.
Oh,
Really? Really?
Dude. Hey, I tell you what, man, Loki, we got to talk about that, man. Look, you can actually tour. You can go to his studio because he films all these movies. Like he puts out movies every year.
Bring you right to it, dude. It's cool,
dude. And I mean, Doc, you can go to a studio and he'll give the tour. You can meet him and talk to him, and he's real. Like he don't give a fuck about COVID, none of that bullshit. Like, dude,
he's got the General Lee parked out front of his little.
Man, he's one of us, man. He's one of us
on
more
his
than what
property
you think,
right there.
man.
He's got a little store right there. You can go into, you know, with some
dude
collectibles and stuff.
Okay, you
Yeah,
know
man,
what? Okay, Klobby, it's a deal. I'll tell you what, because I know it'll be like what, 4 or 5 hours to get there,
Roughly. Yeah.
24. If you want to go with me, you're more than welcome to. We'll ride up and we'll
It's
go.
about 30 minutes from where I am, give or take.
dude.
Deal.
Yeah, man. Hey, I'm
Deal.
there. I'm
So-
there on that one because I always said if I ever go to Louisiana, it's going to be for John Snyder, bro. So yeah, man.
Cool.
We got to figure that one out, man. But he's
Okay,
there, man. And dude, he has his own YouTube channel, man. He's fucking awesome, bro. I spoke to him one time, man. He's cool,
classics.
dude, man.
If you're not doing anything, and you want to go, by all means, you can ride with us. I have absolutely no problem with that. I'd love road trip because I can't do Dallas this year. I can't do Vegas. I'm getting married in October. But I mean, a day trip, something like that. Hell, live. Okay. Like a live from the road comic book roundtable.
Oh,
That I would absolutely.
yeah.
We can do it. We can do it from Twin Peaks.
There you go.
When would you be thinking of doing it?
Oh man, we'll talk. Let's all talk. Let's all talk
Yeah,
about this.
yeah.
Loki,
Because
if you see right there,
gonna,
what Claude is saying, he
he
of
does.
course he could set you up. So he knows him very well, and yeah. So
Oh, for real?
oh yeah,
Oh,
really.
yeah. He's as he's mentioning someone we know, Scott, who is
Dude, that
knows
would
him
be
very well.
awesome. That would be absolutely
It's only
awesome.
about like
Hey.
maybe half
Look,
hour
I-
out of the sticks.
Hey, look. I'm gonna tell you something.
34
I've been subscribed to him for a few years now on YouTube. Look,
Yeah.
man, John Snyder, man, he's one of us, man. He's a free thinker, and he's not
He
with
is.
he hates that woke shit. Like he talks about that all
True.
the time. Like he can't stand it, and the fact that he's in Hollywood and he sees how all these people are fake and be fucking doing all this shit. Like he's against all of that, dude. Like you guys, man. If you haven't
Right.
subscribed to John Snyder, man, yeah, he's on some real shit. Like I remember when COVID broke out, man. He was like, hey, he's like, look, I don't care about that shit because I'm not gonna sit there and disrespect my brothers. He started hugging everybody around him, like, yo, whatever happens, happens. But I'm not gonna sit here and start treating people fucked up the way people were starting to like break away from their families and fucking disowning each other and all that shit behind the vaccination and the presidency were the two things that broke up a lot of fucking families in America. And he was against all that shit. He was like, man, well, dude, John Snyder's the shit, man. We need to do it, man.
No, absolutely. We will. Okay, so this coming next year, it's got to be around maybe the middle of the year. Definitely before October.
we gotta see if we can put 24 to climb inside the General Lee and take a pic.
Oh,
Oh,
dude.
man.
That was
Okay,
okay. He made a joke because he knows I'm way too big to fit in. John Snyder said, "But you better not climb in there, huh?" And he's kidding with me.
Klobby, you get
But
one
I-
side of 24. I'll get the other side, and we'll throw them in feet first.
You know what?
We'll
To
chunk
be
it in
real,
for
man, y'all
feet.
can just feel me sliding across the fucking front of the car, like sliding across the top of that bitch. Yep, I'm ready to go.
Chris Persian said, as soon as Loki said stream the comic book roundtable from Twin Peaks, you know Mexican Iron Man was like, huh? Did someone say Twin Peaks? Oh my god. Brian Dawes asks, any love for Mobius tonight? Or are we
Well,
just talking superheroes?
Mobius was great. Jean Giraud's name, met him once. Nice guy, nice man. Sadly, no longer with us. One of the greats. Yeah, plenty of love from him. He was fairly highly ranked on that questionable list, but rightly so, fairly highly rated, and one of the all-time greats.
You remember this?
Yes, indeed. I still have that somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Klobby, I still have that.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was all right, man. It's a pretty decent book, man.
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah,
love
it
it.
was
I
during
mean,
our 50th
I got it.
anniversary, 1985.
So
DC
yeah, God, I'm thinking about this now. It's got to be like March, April, May or June, maybe somewhere around there.
Yo, hell yeah. And you know what? To be honest, that gives enough time to prepare for it, plan it out, save for it, and everything else, man.
Well, I mean, it'll be a day trip unless you guys want to like spend the night there, then go back the next day. But if you guys want to do that, I'll figure it out. You can figure it out.
Shit.
It sounds
Kick
good,
it with
man.
John
I'd
Snyder,
like to
get
do it.
drunk, come back the next day. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. No, because I'm just, the more I think about it, and the more I see other iterations of Jonathan Kent, the more I wonder what the hell happened to Costner, and why they did it that way.
Because Snyder's an idiot. You don't need to go further than that.
You know, the only thing I could think of is if he was trying to portray, portray the 1978 where like what happened to Pa Kent then. You know what I'm saying? He caught that heart attack in the first 20 minutes of the movie, and he was out of there 15 minutes.
Yeah. With the young Clark Kent who wasn't Superman yet. Yeah.
Right. So that might be like, yo, let's try to play that trope all over again.
I don't know. I just there's a lot of bitching about Man of Steel, and some of it I agree with, some of it I don't. Someone was saying a whole bunch of shit about the gas explosions when he's fighting what's her name, the
Theora.
Theora, thank you. Would never have happened because Superman would never let him be put in that position where he's fighting anyone in front of civilians. And I'm like, bullshit. If it's another Kryptonian, he's got no damn choice. That bitch hits him and starts beating the crap out of him. He doesn't have a choice. She's just as strong as he is.
Yeah.
We don't have to have that argument right now.
God, I love you, Clubby. Oh my God, I love you. I love you, brother. I love it.
Get a man.
Oh shit. And we don't always agree. And you know what, guys? That's the beauty of this.
Oh, I'm not saying collateral damage can't happen if he's fighting a bunch of Kryptonians, but I'm saying Superman is too smart to have a lot of things happen. A lot of things that happened to him in this movie, with regards to scenes like that, are not within character of even a younger Superman, because he is so much smarter than them. Those people just got their so-called power. Superman has had them all his life, and he's just a dope, doesn't know anything how to use them.
Well, that's when he takes on the three in Superman 2. He proves that. He's like, there's three of you. I have to fight three of you. I'm going to fight you smarter. I'm going to be faster. I'm going to hit you where you never see it coming.
But
he's got to.
He never fights smart in this in Man of Steel.
No, it's all straight up battle. Even when he's fighting Zod, it's just like it's a fist fight. It's a smackdown back and forth. That's all.
The thing is, honestly, Superman would have tried to take it outside of the city somewhere that wouldn't be no kind of collateral damage, and that's what he would have did something to try to provoke him to get the fuck out of there and go fight him somewhere where it wouldn't be too much casualties and shit like that. And then it's funny that didn't happen.
What Phantom Outsider is saying right here, if Clark would have super speeded him out of that, and because he did that, it put too much strain on his father's heart, and he had a heart attack. I could live with that. I could live with, you did everything. I did everything I could to save him, and I couldn't. Yeah. I could have totally lived with that, but him holding his hand up and saying, no, let me just die. And people can come up with whatever argument they want to. They can say, oh, he only did that to teach Clark that it wasn't time. It wasn't time to reveal himself to the world. He would never revealed himself to anybody. The man can move as fast as the speed of light. He could have been there, saved him, and moved him, and nobody would have ever known what happened. No one was watching. No one was looking. He could have saved his dad, and no one would have ever known. So don't give me that whole, he did it to prevent people from knowing his reveal.
Yeah, that's something they do repeatedly throughout that movie or in those Snyderverse films is Superman doesn't really use his powers intelligently at all.
No. He's just he's Superman smash. Exactly. He's not the fucking Hulk that can fly.
Yeah,
to be honest, the new 52 Superman was exactly the same way.
See, that's not smart writing. That's not intelligent writing. That's why I stopped reading. That's why I stopped reading up New 52. To me, it's just not intelligent writing. When a almost powerless Superman can fly into a absolute when they took out Coast City, when Cyborg Superman took out Coast City, and an almost powerless Superman tricked everyone into thinking, oh well, he's got some powers back. He's floating down. Oh, he's kind of flying. And it's Supergirl the whole time, and that bitch is invisible, and no one knows it. That's what I'm talking about. That is him using his noggin and going, you know what? I'm gonna make these fuckers think I can handle it because I'm not gonna have them worried about me. I'm not gonna have them trying to protect me. Supergirl can be invisible and do that for me. And man, he's smart and intelligent, and it works.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Bobcat.
So,
but we're not talking about intelligence here. We're talking about Hack Snyder. We have no respect for the character and no understanding of the character and no understanding how to write the character or anything like that. So that's what you get.
Here's what I don't get though, and this has always been my thing, and why I thought this was gonna work out really well. He did some decent movies, man.
Yep. Dawn of the Dead was awesome.
300 is, I mean, Frank Miller, him and Frank Miller teaming up to do 300. They're, I mean, scene for scene, there's some shit that was in the comic books that's in that movie when they're going off the cliff and all that shit. That, and when he goes down, when Leonidas kicks that son of a bitch in the pit, it's like, God, you did such a good job on this movie. You brought it to life. You brought this graphic novel to life, and then you go and you do some dumbass shit, and I'm just like,
Yep.
Chris Persian says, Loki, all I had to do was hold the truck down while the tornado passes and run off before anybody could see, and chalk it off as miracle. But tornadoes are weird. He didn't even have to do that. All he had to do was free his dad and run off, and he could have all done that without anybody seeing him.
Yepper.
And yeah, Phantom Outsider. It's the same thing when Jonathan says maybe Clark should have let those kids in the bus die. No.
Yep.
Absolutely fucking not. That's pathetic.
All the other things that are horribly wrong with that movie, because every single inch of it sucks to me, but the crucial, fundamental destruction of his values comes on that final bit when they've already had some very questionable moments about it, when he doesn't say Pa Costner. Now, granted, I wouldn't say Pa Costner because he's annoying, but that's beside the point. He's, Superman saves people. And they just, this one, and also, but then again, it was pretty damaged before that, because he never would have said, what was supposed to do, let them all die? Maybe. That's not right there. You already don't have a Superman movie.
Yeah, and already and even Eris brought that up. She goes, "Oh my God!" In 4 episodes of the show that was on the fucking CW, they've already got a Jonathan Kent that completely outshines Snyder's Jonathan Kent.
Of course.
So I don't know. The more time goes on, the more I'm like, God, I hate that fucking movie. But then I love the soundtrack. Clobby, that soundtrack, dun, 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 you're like, yeah, come on, Superman, kick some fucking ass. And yeah.
Oh, it's good music, but you can never blame the music for a shitty movie.
Lex sucks. Lex Luthor absolutely sucks balls in Batman versus Superman. Completely wrong casting.
Luther?
God help me.
Lutherberg.
He come back as Lex Luthor.
What?
Jesse Eisenberg.
Ugh, no. The whole movie, he thought he was playing the Riddler
or the Joker.
Nice.
No. Oh, hyper
and even know
and all this. Yeah, he's
awful.
I guess he watched too much the Batman 2 from Nolan and figured that's how he should rock Lex Luthor.
I don't know. The more I go back and I'm like, man, just look at this. And yeah, right there, Smallville's Justice League. Yes, and the Justice Society, dude. The table.
I don't like Smallville, but I'll definitely say it's better than Snyder trash. So I'm with you.
There's this thing in Injustice, and I know Clobby doesn't like Injustice. I can't remember how many issues I got through, but this is one of the only modern day things I liked for a while. And there's this scene where Superman, they need Superman's help, and they're on the space station, the Justice League space station, right? And they're all around this table with this cloth on it, and they're talking. And when everybody walks away, and it's just Superman and Batman. Superman pulls the white cloth off the table, and it's the Justice League table with a Justice League symbol, and there's a burn mark that's going through it. Not horizontally, but kind of like cockeyed. And he looks at Batman and he goes, "You kept the table." And Batman just kind of shrugs and walks out. And it's like, damn, man. Damn. It could have been so great. And that's the way I feel that is the way I feel about Snyderverse. Is it could have been so great. Because he did a great 300. 300 was absolutely fucking awesome. Sin City, more Frank Miller shit that Rodriguez and Tarantino and them did.
Watchmen.
But that should tell you why it shouldn't have been. It never had a chance to be great because those are things that have nothing to do with what the DC universe should be like. Those are fine, even though I think he screwed up Watchmen on a different level.
Yes.
That's a different type of thing. Those are things that tell me tonally the guy, unless he was going to be able to do a 180 from that kind of tone, was completely the wrong guy for the DC universe. Always
And
was.
I agree. The end, not having what's his name in it, the squid thing, the alien.
Yeah, that's another argument, but I'm just saying that was supposed to be depressing and deconstructionist.
Yes.
You couldn't even get that right. However, I like 300's fine and like Sin City. He did do Sin City, but I like that kind of stuff is fine for that type of thing. 300, but Snyder just was the wrong guy for the job, and this was a guy that flat out admitted he thought Superman was a dork. He never read that. He liked some of Miller's Batman stuff, but he was mostly, and he liked Watchmen, obviously, even though he didn't get it right. But his things was heavy metal and different things like that. He's an edgelord type, and was therefore
I love it.
when the guy's out there admitting that he doesn't have any respect for the character, listen to him and say, "Well, thank you. By the way, thank you, Christopher Nolan. It's your damn fault for hiring him." Go, okay, well, good. Yeah, we'll talk to you later. We'll get somebody else. We'll get, for example, the Salkinds got really lucky, as ridiculous as they are, to get a guy like Richard Donner in there, and at least that's the one movie, and who said this should be, because he looked at the Mario Puzo script, did Donner, and said, "This is ridiculous. This thing is ludicrous. It's campy. It's dumb." And Mario Puzo's name's still on there, but a lot of the stuff from his script is not in the movies because this is a guy that wanted to have a cameo by Telly Savalas as Kojak. It's like, shut up.
And
So
someone
he just so in other words, the right guy comes along with Richard Donner and said, "You know what? Let's treat this character with respect and treat it like it's a legend. It's an icon." This is when the character had only been around for about just under the 40-year mark by the time they were starting to make this thing. So, which is a lot, I guess. He was pop culture icon enough, in fictional terms, that they would treat him with respect. And so Donner understood that. But so many times it's not the case. These people will get a hold of these characters and not understand what they have and not care. Donner, it's not like he was as big a Superman fan in the world. He just had respect. He knew about the character. He read comics as a kid. And he said, "Let's treat this right. Let's treat him correctly." And that's why you got at least the first movie. Then, of course, the Salkinds meddled and screwed him over. And then, things happened. And, so...
And I hated, like, if you go back and you look at that original movie and look at the reports on that movie, they severely over exaggerated how much it cost to make that, because they filmed 2 movies. They filmed the first movie and they filmed the second movie. Yeah, they tried, because obviously
and then he got wise to him.
Yeah, and because what they were going to do is they were going to have him film everything and then come out with the second movie and not pay anybody for that second
they've done
movie.
that before on the 3 Musketeers and the 4 Musketeers. They filmed it.
So what was his the guy who played Jor-El?
Marlon Brando.
Goddamn, Marlon Brando. Marlon Brando was like, "Bitches, I will sue you up and down. I will sue you from every angle. I will come after you.
Yeah.
And I will leave a horse's head in your fucking bed if you try and come out with this movie without paying me." To the point that they had to cut him out of it completely,
That's right.
because they were seeing all this stuff was stuff that was already filmed. So when you go into that and you're looking at that and you're like, God, that's a huge price tag for this movie. If it was all filmed at once and it was all taken care of, They were
Right.
trying to basically piggyback off that to get all the profits on the second movie without paying anybody.
Because they were idiots and criminals. The Salkinds were jerkweeds, and like I said, they'd done that with a couple of movies a couple of years previously with 2 movies. They did. I remember when those came out. The Three Musketeers, and then we went to see it as kids, and then they came out with the 4 Musketeers. But we found out later they tried to make they did make those back to back, and the actors in those movies got screwed over.
Yep.
Because
That's
they got
the one
paid
with
for one
Michael
movie.
York in it, right?
Michael York is in that. Yes, among others. Yeah.
Raquel Welch.
Yeah. Is she in that? I can't remember.
I think
I
she-
remember that.
Do you guys have
Faye Dunaway?
anything coming up before we get out of here that you want to share with everybody and let everybody know about? We'll start with 24/7 and go around the room.
Oh, well, I just I just dropped a new video on the Hulk and and being in the MCU. So if you guys haven't checked it out, please do. It's just real quick. It's about the MCU has a Hulk problem, man. And there's the fact that they can't work shit out with Universal. They tend now, it looks like they're putting all their best Hulk stories as a subplot in everybody else's movies, trying to have Captain America fight General Ross and the leader and all that. Sam Wilson, Captain America, Falcon, got no business fucking fighting the leader or General Ross or nobody like that. So
Really?
yeah, so
It's
basically,
Orange Man
and
bad.
from there, it's supposed to sprout out World War Hulk. Like, so the
Wow.
thing is so. But if Marvel is spending all this money with Sony to get Spider-Man, why the fuck they won't put the baddest fucking character? The Hulk will smash the fuck out of anybody. He'll kill the fuck out of Thor, Spider-Man, anybody.
Not that
You get 'em
wussy they
mad
got
enough.
now. Not
No,
that
not
wussy they
how
got
they-
right now. Not
yeah,
that
no.
iteration.
Not how they.
No, I'm
pussy
just
him
saying,
down.
like you get Hulk to that point, he'll destroy the planet if he could. So the fact that he's badass, and when they did DC versus Marvel, he's the only guy that they could put him up against the Superman. The Hulk needs some shit, man, and the fact that they're putting all his best stories in like Thor Ragnarok, like they fucking over the Hulk, man, and that's my big thing, man. So just to hear that.
True.
Hulk, World War Hulk is going to be coming out like Captain America 4 is bullshit, man. So y'all check out the video, man.
Cool.
How are they going to
So,
explain him having a kid now?
I'm tearing into that shit, man. So
Guys, check out 24/7 Fusion Media on his channel. The link is in chat. Check him out. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to him. It's 24/7 Fusion Media. Classic Comics. You got anything coming up, brother, that we need to know about?
Probably going to do a review of the second issue of Batman Joker Deadly Duo. That'll probably be out tomorrow. And probably going to do a live stream this Saturday evening, the night before New Year's Eve. And I think I'm going to try and take a break from all the DCEU stuff and talk some more about Marvel, like about the new Daredevil show. This thing sounds like it's going to be awful.
my gosh.
Looks bad.
And I don't know, probably some other kind of recent headlines from the MCU type stuff.
All right, guys, if you're not subscribed to Classic Comics, head over there right now. Subscribe, ring that
Yep.
bell, check him out, check out his content. Absolutely
go.
wonderful guy. Thank you so much for being here. Classic Clobby! Clobbering times!
Yeah, a little over half an hour. I guess at the top of the hour, I'll be doing my Wednesday night wild card Wednesday. And probably recap some stuff with the big comic book artist tripwire list that we did Monday night. A little recap of that, plus open talk, just about anything hanging out with my friends there. The big clubhouse with hopefully Raquel and Mark will be on tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Central for that as well. Friday night, I might be able to hang out with Nick's Comic Shop gang, I guess. I don't know what we got planned exactly. But and then Saturday night, I will count down the New Year on New Year's Eve night. Just a little clubby countdown happening, just to hang out with friends like I did last Saturday night on Christmas Eve and have a little bit of fun. So yeah, that's about it, buddy. And thanks for having me. And it's great to hang out with all my good friends on the panel and our wonderful friends in the chat. Hope you all had a great Christmas, like I said, and hope you have a great New Year's.
Absolutely.
There you
Guys, thank you so very much for being here. You can get links to these wonderful guys, these kick-ass comic book guys right now in the chat. The links are there. Make sure you follow us. We're going to be back tomorrow morning with Thirsty Thursday, closing out the week and the year. Shit, it'll be the last Thirsty Thursday of the year. Until then, take care. Be excellent to each other. Always speak friend to enter. We'll see you guys next year on the Comic Book Roundtable.
Yeah, I'll get these links. Get these links.
Later, everybody.
Later.
I see you, Lady Mist. You can't sneak in here and say something and then be like, later. Ha, I got you.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.